Hello, my fam jam. I hope everyone's doing well today. Today, I want to talk a little bit about spirit and saging your home, smudging your home, and really what it's about. I've had a lot of requests for information on this over the last couple of days, so here we go. So, the first thing I want to let you know is what I've been taught so far through all of the certification programs I've been taking, but also through my own experience. I've really earned my spirituality the hard way, and I've gone through the trenches and sort of been able to work with spirit and understand and learn more. I've hosted a lot of spirit retreats actually, where we congregate with people who have passed loved ones, but then other spirit also comes in and we create this vortex, this sacred safe space where they can communicate through me and through some of the other participants. And then we get signs that they're there, and it's this really beautiful adventure. But I want to talk a little bit about how it works and what I've been shown. So what I've been taught to date is kind of a hierarchy system. Not that one has more energy or more power over the other, but basically it goes like this. So we have humans, which, by the way, we are the dumbest species. Like, we're the newest thing, I swear. We're very primitive. So our little minds can only go so far with thinking about the beginning or end of time, which doesn't exist, and what spirit really is. But here's what I know. So humans, people that pass away are a little bit above that. They can choose to ascend into the angelic realm to stay with you and your loved ones, or they can continue on in their own journey, either being reincarnated or whatever they choose to do from there. Above that is your guardian angels. Your guardian angels is the team that you actually come with. So everybody has at least one. Usually, typically, I see 2 or 3 guardian angels when I'm working with clients, and those are your protectors. So they're the ones that shield you, protect you, guide you. I'm sure you've heard countless stories about almost getting in near car accidents and like swearing that a guardian angel was with you. There's truth to that. You do have a family, and if it's not an opening time for you to leave this earth, they will protect and guide you. So they're really there for you. Above guardian angels comes your spirit guides. Now, those are my favorite energies to work with. Spirit guides are they have dynamic personalities. They can be anything from, I have one woman who has this big giant mama bear as one of her spirit guides, and it's a very playful energy. And then I have some people who have fairies as spirit guides, or ascendant masters, or frequencies such as the energy of transformation or the energy of acceptance, or unicorns or mermaids. There's lots of different realms. That may sound crazy to some of you, but here's where we're at. So there is some spirit guides. The spirit guides will always have a really strong personality trait that is threaded in you. So there's this very strong etheric cord that's attached to your spirit guides, and they feed you strength or confidence. So I'll use mine as an example. I have about 6 spirit guides right now. The one that's always been with me is Max. And Max is very authoritative, very analytical, very let's business get things done. And that's a big, strong of my personality. So when I need to focus, I can call on his energy and he can sort of help me move forward. Then I have Zula, who's this beautiful, majestic fairy. And sometimes I struggle with a little bit of body image issue. So I can call upon her for confidence, especially when I'm doing a speaking engagement in front of like 1,000 people and I need that confidence. I can call upon her and she'll help me just be able to feel that as I move forward. So that's where your spirit guides. Above them is archangels. So Archangel Michael, who I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but there's a whole realm of archangels, and they're for everybody. And they can multitask, let me tell you. They're not just one energy like us that can just show up and work with one person. They're very diverse, and they're very huge and broad in their ability to share energy. And then above that is galactic energy. So that's a whole other video. But there's lots of amazing information out there. So when it comes to spirit that you're dealing with, or energy or entities that you're dealing with, whether it's in your home space or energies attaching to you, I do have a huge clientele right now that are empaths. So they absorb everybody's energy. That in itself is the same as a ghost holding on to someone's negativity and having that attached to you. So smudging is really important for both yourself, your home, and your experience. So what I really want to share with you is this preconceived notion that some people have that there can be bad ghosts. It's not true, just so you know. And I'm going to try and explain this as simply as I can. But there is literally no such thing as negative or positive. Humanity is the only species that believes in negative and positive. We are also the only species that believes in time. So those two things do not exist outside of us. Our brains aren't able to really expand into that awareness yet. I mean, some people, yeah, for sure, but it's challenging to get your brain to expand to that space. But there is literally no such thing as good or bad. There is only the ability to create your experience right here, right now. So I've talked in a few videos, and I will continue to talk about your belief structure. Whatever your core beliefs are, is what you're radiating out into your auric field, which is what you're attracting into your life. So whatever you believe is what you will achieve. It's what you will experience. So if there's self-worth, you're going to block success, love, things coming to you, if there's some blockages there. If you're learning to heal self-love and self-worth, then you're going to have more experiences where you're realizing, oh my gosh, like I'm really worthy of these things. It's the same thing with when we talk about the law of attraction. It's the same shit, by the way. We talk about the law of attraction, and you say, one of my ex-husbands, my first ex-husband, is always talking about the cloud over his head, and he's always talking about doom and gloom, and, life is hard for him, and it's always going to be challenging. So the poor guy constantly has car issues and house issues, and he's constantly dishing out money because that's his belief. His belief is there's this dark cloud over his head. So that's the experience he's creating. So how does that relate to spirit and to ghosts? Well, whatever you believe is what your experience will be. We are in a society where we're really pushed upon to be fearful. Everything. We've got movies, we've got media, we've got ghost stories. We have all of these there's evidence of people going out there and having these harsh things with ghosts. That's because that's what they believe. So whatever it is that you believe is really the situation that you're going to attract. I'll share one of my personal stories. When I was a teenager, we lived in a home that was a morgue, actually. My mom loved this house. And the upstairs, my room in particular, my bedroom, was above where they would keep the bodies years and years and years ago. And I didn't really know much about ghosts, but I did grow up in a very, very, very close-minded, strong faith. That just was a struggle for me because I've always never been able to put myself into one belief structure or box of this is it. So I really struggled with that, but they taught that you could be possessed. They taught that there could be bad experiences. And I went through a year with one spirit in particular every frickin' night, terrifying me. It would take the blankets off my bed. It would move things. I had a little stool in my room that would like scoot across the floor because my belief was so heightened in fear. And the moment that would start happening, I start to radiate more fear, and therefore more things would start to happen. So I lived for a year like that. And then all of a sudden one day I was like, all right, here's the truth. I haven't been hurt by this thing. I know it's there. I haven't been hurt. I haven't been harmed. What the F? Like, what is this about? So then I started questioning, like, what it really is about. So I started in attempts to communicate with it, to understand it, this entity. And over the course of just a few weeks, all of a sudden, all of that changed and it stopped bothering me. And I would just feel, as I would walk up into my room, just this sense of like, oh, this is comfortable. And it was like there was like an energy there. So because I changed my perception, the entire situation changed. I work really closely with spirit now. I am like a beacon. They find me everywhere I go, like literally everywhere I go. I can walk down the street and it's just traffic between ghosts and humans. And sometimes I can't tell what's what, especially if I've been out in public drinking all night. Yeah, totally different story, but has a huge impact on me. So they find me and I'm often able to figure out who it's for and then deliver those messages. Or sometimes I'll just throw it out on my Facebook, like I'm looking for a specific person, and then they connect with me and then I give the message and spirit can go on their way. Now, there's a whole lot more to that, and I can share a lot more if you're interested. So you can just put in the comments on this video whatever questions you have, and I will put them all together into another video for you. But that basically sums it up. Spirit will only ever represent itself to you the way you believe it to be. So another point in that is when I'm working with clients and I'm working with past loved ones, they will show themselves to me the way my client sees them. So I will visually see and be able to describe the spirit to the client that I'm working with, because that's the client's belief. And when I went in a session, it's really about my humanness stepping aside, and the divine within me channels right to the divine within you. So it's a very soulful space. So it's not my perception. It's not anything to do with Christine. It's my soul communicating with you. So when spirit shows up, I only see and witness it based on your memories and how you perceived or how you visually remember that individual. So that's how that works. My own experience with them is just an energy, and it's just like information channeling into my mind. I don't have to see them. They can just show up. But when I'm walking down the street, for sure, I can see them, like top hats and all kinds of cool things. It's pretty neat. Anyways, moving on to smudging. So what does smudging do? How do we do this? So smudging is using sage. I should have actually brought mine up. I believe it's up here. Give me 1 second. Hi guys. Okay, so I'm back with my sage. You can get it in a little bundle like this. This was a gift from a very beautiful friend. Or you can get it in a stick where it's all bundled together, or you can dry it and make it yourself. This is white sage specifically. What you do is you light the end of it. I like to take mine apart because I've been known to get carried away and set off fire alarms. So I actually take mine apart and I just use a little piece at a time, and that's sufficient for me, especially when I'm working with doing Reiki clients. I'll always sage them at the end just to take away anything that doesn't work for them, any energies that aren't working. So saging can be used for releasing negativity, just energy. It can be used for healing. It can be used for just giving you a clean slate. It can be used for helping spirit transcend. So if you have a spirit that's stuck in your home, it's good for it. So before you start, what you're going to do is just really ground yourself. So I start at my front door, or the door that's used the most if I'm in a home, or if I'm just doing my bedroom, I'll just start at my bedroom door. And I ground myself. So I imagine just energy coming from my crown all the way down into my feet, grounding myself into Gaia, into Mother Earth. There's no ritual. I mean, you can read up and do all these fancy things, but you just got to ground yourself, really. I find that a lot of things in the spiritual world are like over the top and like ridiculously overdone. So follow what works for you. There is no right or wrong way to do this. It's about what works for you. So you're going to take your sage. You're going to light the end of it. Once you've ground it, light the end of it, and you're going to start to waft the sage around your body, imagining that the smoke of it is just wrapping around, releasing anything that does not serve you. As you're doing that, I encourage you to really call upon your guardian angels and your spirit guides. So I always just do a quick little like, okay, team, I'm calling upon my guardian angels, my spirit guides, all of the spirit family that's with me, that's for my highest good. And my intention is to bring beautiful love and light to this home, to this space, to myself. And then you're going to call upon Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael, I'd like to call upon you, please. I'd like for your guidance and your assistance as I cleanse this home. Please remove anything that's not working for me, or that's not for my highest good, or the highest good of the family or the home. If there is spirit, please surround them in love and light, and please remove anything that's not working for this space. So be it. And then you're going to take your sage, make sure that it's lit the entire time. So the intention is to start clockwise around the room. I had to make sure that it was clockwise or counterclockwise. It's clockwise. So you start, and then you just go and you make sure that you're bringing the smoke. So I open cupboards, I go through the closet, and I just walk around the house, just allowing the smoke to come, like to go. And every time you come to a doorway, just go down the stairs if it's the basement, do the same thing in the basement, come back up, pick up where you started, then do the next floor, and then as you come to the upstairs. So I'd like to do one full floor, and then the next, and then the next. I'm going to suggest that you open a window for sure on each floor, just crack it open enough. I've had some situations in some older homes. This home in particular, actually, when my friend moved into this house last year, there was some heavy energies here. And as we went around, I was cleansing, the same entity just kept moving up to the next floor and didn't want to go. And then when I got into the very last room, I was looking at it and I was like, oh man, like you got to go. So then I just called upon Archangel Michael and I was like, please assist this, cut all etheric cords to this space. I send you off with Archangel Michael to make your decision of where you're going. So they can choose to go into a black hole. They can choose to go into love and to light. It's not your job to tell them where to go at all. by the way. I've seen so many people out there being like, I'm sending you off into the light. Well, what if they don't fucking want to go in the light? So it's really about letting them make the choice. But no, you're no longer allowed to be here because this is our space and our energy. And that's if it feels uncomfortable for you, if it feels like a heavy energy. Because there can be some stuck energies that are just other people, like emotional gunk that isn't serving you. So Archangel Michael will just do that for you and take them off to wherever they're meant to be. I've seen some spirit turn, like literally within seconds, it'll leave the window and then all of a sudden this giant bird will fly by and it's like, oh, it's transcended already. And that's my sign. I know it's gone. In other times, it's been like a chipmunk once, turned into a chipmunk. And then in other times, it just goes off. Sometimes they choose to go off into a dark space, or sometimes they choose to go off into the light with Archangel Michael. But usually, I just see like a sling that sort of comes in visually, and Archangel Michael wraps them with like the purest intention and just like takes them on their way, cuts the cord. So that's how you smudge your house. I hope that helps. Again, any questions that you have, just comment on this video or reach out to me and I'll try and answer them all. I'm getting really busy right now, so which I love. My God, I love it. It's like I haven't been able to get back to all of my emails or messages just yet. Please know that I will as soon as I can. But just between clients and workshops and things that I'm doing, I'm really trying to schedule my time so that I can get back to you all. And I love you all so much. So if you want to comment on the video, then I can take all of those things all at once and share them together collaboratively with you all. So that would be really great. Thank you. And any other questions, yeah, just reach out to me, man. I hope that helps. I just want to give you one other tip that I really love. I find that mostly with homes, it's not about spirit or energy or ghosts being stuck. 9 times out of 10, it's just about the heavy energy. And the home itself is alive and it has its own frequency and its energy. So one tip that I find works really well is I do 2 things. I take essential lavender oil in warm water and I wash all the floors with the intention of lifting off what doesn't serve the home and cleansing it out. And then I put it in a spray bottle. And instead of using Febreze, I spray just the rugs, the area rugs, the furniture, and like the rooms, for example, and just let all energy that doesn't serve just to go on its way. Yeah, and it just gives like this newness when you walk back home. So anyways, hope it helps. I love you guys so madly. I have lots of other tips if you need them. Reach out. And I hope that you have an incredible day. And until next time, I want you to be brave, be bold, and be raw. All right, I love you guys. Bye.